winning, like the Nets. Amazing season, #1 rated offense in the NBA. Kyrie Irving, historic season. But the biggest victory for the Nets is yet to come.
Yeah, and the big victory for New York is when you finally leave. In yet another scoop missed by Woodward and Bernstein, Washington Post reporter Carol Loenig claims that Donald Trump didn't want any fat or short Secret Service agents on his detail. Now, that's hard-hitting journalism. If these allegations prove true, not only was President Trump guilty of institutional fat-shaming, he also single-handedly crushed the lifelong dreams of a shy, chunky young lad by the name of Brian Stelter. It was a long way for a joke. Now, this is from a book on the Secret Service, but the only buzz being generated is about the most interesting man on the planet since that old guy who drinks Dos Equis, Trump. According to the book, Trump once said, quote, "I want these fat guys off my detail." He added, "How are they going to protect me and my family if they can't run down the streets?" You don't even have to add anything to this. So, once again, someone's trying to sell a book based on a conversation that likely cannot be verified by someone on record. And what happens? Everyone in the press calls the same source to verify it. That's their confirmation, a misinformation loop. But we don't do that here at Gutfeld, mainly because we don't have the budget for a phone, and I'm really lazy. But also, there's no need to, because I believe that quote is 100% factual. Of course, Trump would say he doesn't want fat guys on his detail, because that's what we'd all say if we were the president, too. He is us. We are him. He is right. One of the only reasons to be president is the perks. This is not a great job. Half the country hates you, and you always have to wear a suit and a tie, even to bed. And unless you're a left-wing shill, the media despises you. And you can't even look at a woman without being accused of something. And even if you do get lucky, how can you be intimate when there are 3 men with guns nearby? I mean, I can't. I practiced a lot in prison. And God forbid you want to have a drink. You'll have to put the whiskey in a juice box, which is something I learned from the gals on Outnumbered. Having Secret Service is perk priority #1. As president, you can do anything. Hey, let's drive by my old guidance counselor's house and pelt his used Miata with rotten eggs. And if anyone comes for you, the Secret Service can shoot them in the face. I think that's in the Constitution. I didn't check, but I'm assuming. Look, when I become president, I don't want an agent who looks like a Coke machine with a head. I want him or her to look like, Dolph Lundgren during the alleged steroid phase. Alleged. Or Carl Weathers in the Action Jackson phase. What a body on that, huh? And he needed one to fight Craig T. Nelson. Nobody remembers Craig T. Nelson. So you need a show of force, not a show of flab. You want Clint Eastwood, not Clint Howard. And remember, the movie was called In the Line of Fire, not In the Line of Dairy Queen. This is why Trump was so beloved. He'd say what you would say. He didn't lower any bar. He spoke like you do when you're at a bar. Of course, Trump also didn't want short people there either. So as a member of that community whose height has been historically underrepresented in law enforcement and also on dating shows, should I throw a tantrum? Should I drown myself in a teapot? Or hang myself from a bowling trophy? No, I get it. If you're supposed to take a bullet for the president, it's kind of unfair if the president is a taller target than you. That seems like a thing that should be on the checklist of human shields. Is he in reasonably good shape? Check. Does he own a pair of mirrored sunglasses? Check. Is he taller than Peter Dinklage? Check. Of course, the service has fitness standards for agents in the field. You have to be able to run a mile in under 10 minutes and beat up 10 hippies while riding a black bear. But some agents, they also have office jobs, and that's where I would work. I know my place. I can catch a typo, but not a bullet. I'll take one for the team, as long as it's a spiced latte with skim. Plus, I'd have a really cool secret code name like, sorry, ladies, he's married. But this excerpt is meant to portray Trump once again as intolerant, claiming he tried to remove staff he deemed too fat or too short. Boo-hoo. No one minded when he enforced these same standards for the Miss Universe pageant. Telling men who are too fat or too short that you didn't make the cut, that happens all the time. Among women, it's known as dating. Kat, back me up. All right, don't. Fine. I wonder what our angry white male thinks.
You know, one of the things I learned in life, not everyone can do everything. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a baseball player or a fireman. I guess I'm not suited to either one of those. Yeah, there's a lot I can't do. But if you want a guy who can whittle a stick into something recognizable, I'm your man. What do you think? Human hand?
Ugh. Intolerant jerk. I wonder what our angry black male thinks.
What it is, what's up? President Trump said he didn't want a short, fat guy as a bodyguard. No. Neither would I.
So once again, the media, experiencing their trademark Trump withdrawal, seeks their next fix in another dopey excerpt. But remember this, Trump may not be a fan of imperfect physiques, but he never denigrated the working guy in law enforcement. You want a contrast? Try Joe Biden's recent comments commemorating National Police Week. After a perfunctory expression of gratitude, he noted, quote, a deep distrust towards law enforcement, which has been exacerbated by the recent deaths of several black and brown people at the hands of law enforcement. He's like a guy with a sore tooth. He just couldn't leave it alone. Thanks for that, Joe. Remind me not to have you give the eulogy at my funeral. Of course, the slandering of the police seems way worse, to me anyway, than wanting reasonably fit people to protect you and your country. And of course, it was Trump's insult, not Joe's, that gets more coverage. Do you think Trump gives two rips about what the positive body image crowd thinks? Fat chance. Let's welcome tonight's guest. We were worried he wouldn't come back after Kat tried to steal his prescription pad. Host of Ask Dr. Drew, Dr. Drew Pinsky. He's from the Hawkeye State and always shoots straight. Former acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker. She likes her Prince Harry. Fox News contributor Kat Timpf. He's so huge, getting on his good side takes 2 trips. My massive sidekick and host of Nuff Said on Fox Nation, Kyrus. All right, Dr. Drew, we're going to wade in some dangerous territory.
Yeah, I want to thank you for that homoerotic opening. Well done. I mean, I don't know what that did for you, but I know my wife enjoyed it.
That's homoerotic opening.
Kat evidently too, so.
Sounds very disgusting.
How
I
dare
remember
you?
them from bars, though. You know, okay, you're a doctor, or so you claim. I've never seen any proof of this.
How dare you? Do we have to go there?
Yeah. Just give me your prescription pad and everything will be done. Are people that are overweight or short physically less capable in this particular job?
Yes, right? I mean, when people become firemen, they have to pass certain kinds of testing when people become Secret Service. But apparently they have standards, and these guys all passed it. But it does sound like Trump, doesn't it? It really just sounds like him being him, where everybody gets fired if they're not up to his specific little qualifications. By the way, you mentioned the Miss Universe pageant.
Yeah.
I believe I'm the only guest you ever had that was actually a judge on the Miss USA pageant for him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he sat behind me with Melania, and it was that experience.
You're the strangest doctor I've ever met.
Thank you for that. I thank you.
Yeah, some doctors, I saved a patient on a plane. Well, I was a judge on a pageant. You make me sick, Dr. Drew. Actually, you have saved many people's lives.
I have.
I kid.
I know that.
All right. Matt, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
Glad
know
to be
this
here.
isn't like those other Fox shows.
No, it's not. Plus, I'm not remote from Des Moines. That's the other thing.
Right now,
great.
you wish you were. Do you think the president? Even, I believe he said this, and you worked with the president.
I did. I was in his cabinet. I spent a lot of time.
Yeah,
what I know is
judge the Miss USA pageant. You understand?
You notice he went from Miss Universe to Miss USA. It's like,
Or whatever.
obviously he likes fit law enforcement. You know,
Yes.
the Attorney General being jacked, I might add. But and then
You are
Bill
jacked.
Barr. Bill Barr is very obviously jacked.
Yes.
But I think it's important when I had that that glorious moment where I had a security detail of FBI agents. I mean, they were all know very fit and willing to break a lot of necks from what I could tell. So I think it is good. And and in the president's defense, it's a visual medium.
Right.
And so he wanted to make sure that he had people that look like me around him.
Yes. No, but that's exactly right. Almost because he is a product of our culture and a product of television, Tyrus. You were a bodyguard.
Yes, I was.
Yes.
I'm with him. I don't have an issue with him not wanting short, fat guys or whatever is around him, because being a bodyguard takes a special kind of dude. And although I did my job to the best of my ability, there was always a little voice in the back of my head: if they pull a gun, quit. So, you know what I'm saying?
Don't take the bullet. It's just Snoop.
I mean, I don't even like his music that much. Like gun. Here's my resume, and in 2 weeks,
By the way, if somebody could literally yell "gun" every 5 minutes in the entourage you were traveling with.
Well, that's how you always find out who's really got it,
Yeah.
And I disagree with the president a little bit, because in all my bodyguard stuff, it wasn't always the other big guys that I would rely on. I usually worked with someone your size, because he could see things that I didn't.
Oh, you mean like the ground and mice?
Yes, and but I look up here at heads, and he sees bodies, he sees waist.
People's waistbands. Yeah.
Yes.
It's important, because you know who's toting and who's not.
Oh, I get it. I can see where
A
the
guy's
gun
got a
is.
gun stuffed in the small of his back or the side that you can see it.
That's
and then I hear a little voice. It's like Fantasy Allen. You pull on my jean, like, Iris, yes, Greg. Gun. Oh, thank you, Greg. And then we go get him.
I can travel on your shoulders like a little woodland nymph. I see a show. Kat, do you remember the bodyguards for Gaddafi? Do you remember that? The hot girls. Do you remember this?
Yeah, you didn't talk about my favorite part of this story, which is that apparently these bodyguards were so hot.
Yes.
That Tiffany Trump broke up with her boyfriend and started spending a lot of alone time with one of the bodyguards. And we don't talk about Tiffany Trump enough, because I'm more and more convinced the more I hear about her that she is awesome.
Yes.
And you just said that, Trump is so ruthless and he is, but I think it's nothing compared to how ruthless Tiffany Trump is.
Really?
I am serious, okay? And January 19th, right before Biden's inauguration,
Right.
obviously a lot of stuff going on in her family, right?
Yes.
What does she do? She goes to Instagram and announces her engagement to another guy who she met partying at Lindsay Lohan's beach club in Mykonos. Trump may not give a but Tiffany gives no I want to party with Tiffany.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.